I'm as ready as I can possibly be. Let's do it.
I'll introduce us.
All right, fine.
Just count us off.
We're already live.
All right, cool, awesome. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Ravens Flock.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
My name is Jose Caspona. I'm here with Juan Angel. We're here reporting in an exclusive, undisclosed location that we call
It's our studio.
The Ravens Flock Control Center. The Control Center!
If it's a control center, then why are you wearing your headset with the cable going across the wrong way?
Hey man, it's a control center. He's allowed to be comfortable in the control center. I'm not actually
Angel
with the folks in the office.
Angel is reporting from an undisclosed location, which we will not reveal.
Oh
It's
no!
a bunker. I'm on the ground right now, surrounded by dead bodies and the stench of 3-week-old ramen soup.
Now, Angel, if I'm not mistaken, the bunker that you're hiding in right now is the same nuclear bunker that was built in the 60s or 70s during the Cold War.
That explains the terrible paint job.
I had to dig it out myself with my bare hands in the 60s and 70s. Actually, laying down the brick foundation took forever. The point is, I've been stuck here for a whole week with no supplies, so please send some food and water. And hentai.
We got someone joining on the chat. Rose Michaelis. Hello, short people. Short people?
Oh! I will have...
Who is you calling shorts?
Now, I will have you know, Mr. Short Person on YouTube.
Oh boy,
I am 6'5".
He's 6'6".
And my co-patriot here is
his brother
is 5'11".
Yep.
The only short one out of the three of us is Angel. Get it right.
He's not even that short. You're like what, 5'9"?
5'9"?
5. Yeah, I think I'm 5'9" or 5'8". I haven't measured myself in a while. I keep getting told that it's not about the size of my height; it's about the way I use it. I don't know what that means. Please make all the strange women get away from me on the street.
That's totally unrelated to anything involving.
What we're trying to say is size doesn't matter.
What we're trying to say is that our dicks are huge and massive, and they are not compensating for anything at all.
And there goes the monetization. Ha! Yeah, right.
Oh, please, like we're gonna make any money out of this.
We're never gonna make money off of this thing.
Yeah, I know. So last week's party was a party.
It was fun.
It was fun.
There
was a lot of screaming.
Did you guys have fun joining in? As we may invite later on tonight. Please tell us if you had fun in the comments below or on the side. I have no idea where the comments are when we're live. Is it over here?
Yeah,
Is it over there? Is it down here? Are you watching on the mobile app, perhaps? If it's on the mobile app, then it's down here. If you're watching on a browser, it's probably over here.
And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the latest content from the Ravens Flock.
Because God knows we don't put any up.
Speaking of best we can. Bruh. Now, to be fair, we have a pretty good reason not to put any content. After all, we are finding ourselves in Kojima's wild, wild ride. We are currently at the 50th time of the apocalyptic tale predicted by the game Death Stranding. Haven't seen any people delivering packages to my place yet, but it's getting close.
Speaking of Death
Stranding, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, while Angel goes out there and takes care of a little business, yes, a lot of
we have our first guest jumping in. Just so you know, we're not cycling everyone in one giant thing this time. We're putting in one person at a time. So we got
one person at a time. If you have any questions or if you want to drop any comments or anything you'd like to say, feel free to do so. We'll keep you up for the first couple minutes. Juancho?
All right. Sorry about that. There was a small technical difficulty I had to work my way through. My apologies.
You mean your pizza that you ordered over to your bunker?
Receipt. I don't know why the rest of my family doesn't know how to sign receipts, by which I mean the rest of all the dead bodies I left behind. Lazy sons of... But I digress. As we were saying, we found ourselves once again enduring the ever so difficult atmosphere of isolation that has crippled many marriages, caused several causes of violence of the domestic kind, and many people realize that Animal Crossing might be the one thing that saves them from a horrible bout of depression.
And Doom Eternal.
And Doom Eternal, which is the most Christian game in the world.
But hang on,
Doom Guy's a good boy.
Doom Guy's a good boy, but hold your thought, Angel. We're about to bring someone on. Like I said, here we go.
Nora Otaku is joining us for a few minutes here on this week's live stream.
Hi.
We're not having a giant cluster like we did last week. We're just bringing in, like, if we have any guests, we're bringing in one person at a time. How you doing, Nora?
Pretty good. I'm the one who said hi, short people, even though I'm short myself.
Hypocrisy.
You ain't. You know what? Here, you can focus on looking at this ugly mug.
Hey, these goddamn minorities with their high jokes are bringing this country down. I'm telling you, man, it's a conspiracy.
I am far from ugly.
I am.
Very much.
I am 5'2".
Yeah, in that
Oh,
case,
Jesus
we definitely
Christ.
have
That is
dogs.
wicked.
Can she be in this stream? I think that qualifies as a minor.
Angel!
Also, Jose, would you mind?
Is that legally allowed?
Thank you.
Also,
Nonsense.
Jose, would you mind telling us about your new T-shirt here?
Oh, yes. This is a custom-made T-shirt I got for myself, still representing the brand of the Ravens flock, because after all, you have to show off the brand in any capacity. And it has my last name, meaning that this shirt was exclusively designed for me and for me only. But nonetheless, the Ravens flock does have we do have our own merchandise line on teespring.com. We have several shirts out there with different decals, different colors, different designs, and not just shirts, but we also have different accessories. If you need new phone cases or if you need tote bags. I mean, heck, I think the last time I checked, we also have yoga pants in that website, don't
Yes,
we?
we have sexy yoga pants.
Sexy yoga pants!
God bless the man who invented those things.
In Lycra, please buy our Lycra.
Indeed, indeed.
Once upon a time, a wise man thought, what if I could shape the best part of the female anatomy into a beautiful caster of stretchy elastic? That man was a genius, and he was called mad and perverted and fucked on by a bunch of people that clearly did not understand the beauty of his extraordinary, groundbreaking vision.
Oh, please!
Real
Yoga
bad.
pants are just a man's invention to look at ladies' behinds.
Well, hey, I don't hear any complaining.
Oh! But anyways,
Mr.
regardless.
Yoga Pants Inventor!
That's the one. That's the one.
But anyways, yes, please visit teespring.com/store/the-raven-flock, and you will find our merchandise line. But enough of that. Nora, what's up? How you doing? Aside from calling us short, do you have anything you'd like to say for us?
Not much. Just enjoying my snack supplies.
Awesome.
I finally finished season 2 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Hey!
How do you like the Pillar Men?
Yeah, I can't get it out of my head now.
No, you're thinking of the song right now, aren't you? It's right there.
Yes, thanks a lot. Thanks to you guys.
Awaken, my Ravens flock.
Indeed. We did a great job. Excellent work, Angel.
So it begins. Hey, man.
That should be your intro song whenever you guys do a live.
Once I go to the gym long enough to get buff, then we can do that intro properly.
Angel, why don't you work out at home? That's what I've been doing.
I am working out at home, but I can't put nearly as much time or effort because I don't have the right equipment. I can't pay tribute to the beauty of the Pillar Men if I don't look at least like Wamu by the time I get out of my house.
Do push-ups! Run!
I'm working on it. It takes time. When this coronavirus shenanigans ends, if I don't step out of my house and my flex doesn't make people die, I know I did something wrong.
Oh my God. Well, anyways, I'm glad, Nora. I'm glad to hear that you're stocked up. Here at our control center, we're also stocked up on foods and supplies. We got food for days. Angel, do you have food for days?
Actually, yes. I took the time to grab myself some nice quantities of pure raw meat because I figure while I'm doing this, I might as well remind myself that I'm learning how to cook. You just got crack cocaine on that box. Don't lie to us. It's basically the same thing.
How dare you wave that in our faces?
And the rest of it has just been trying to knife fight hobos for hand sanitizer like everybody else.
Oh, speaking of which, on my way home today from running, I actually found two latex gloves that were left on the street. I'm guessing whoever wore them to step outside, to protect themselves, they just dumped it out and littered them. And I'm like, come on, guys. If you're gonna wear gloves, whether think you're sick or not, that's fine. You have to protect yourself, but please throw them in the
put them in the garbage.
Litter, or otherwise you're just a stupid idiot.
This is why Corona is killing us all. She's getting sick of our nature disrespect. By the way, the death toll is at 63,000 today.
That's terrible. Not good.
She's working so hard. We should bake her a cake or something. Show our appreciation for her dedication.
You know what she needs? You know what Corona Chan needs? She needs to keep her energy up. She needs well-balanced energy and something that's tasty and that she'll enjoy. What she needs is a calorie mate. Approved by the mad demon of outer heaven himself, Big Boss. Enjoy yourself a calorie mate in many different flavors, including chocolate and cheese flavored.
Hang on a minute.
Order it now in Japan. It's damn good.
Hang on. I think that joke needs a little bit of context. Nora, have you ever played Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater?
No. I'm much more into the fighting genre.
Okay. All right.
Should we tell her about it?
You might as well,
Angel.
You might as well explain in context, otherwise it's.
All right. Sure here. Big Boss is the mythical figure of the Metal Gear series. A one-man army. He's basically the Winter Soldier on steroids. The dude is just the biggest, buffest badass in the world, to the point that he made his own military organization called Outer Haven that was so powerful it nearly overturned world events. He also invented Doritos. According to the Metal Gear series, Big Boss and his friends Kazuma Miller, in their effort to make better food rations for their soldiers, invented a bunch of weird shit and promoted a bunch of weird shit that came from Japan. So canonically, in the Metal Gear series, Big Boss invented Calorie Mate and he invented Doritos chips.
It's mate.
And at one point,
Calorie mate, not mate.
My bad. I confused it with that. I confused it with that weird herb tea from Peru.
Wait a minute, isn't Metal Gear Stars the guy with the eye patch or the scars?
That's him. That's Big Boss.
Oh my goodness, my friend's dad used to play the hell out of that game.
It's a fun game. It's a fantastic series, and it's created by the crazy man known as Hideo Kojima, who seems to have the bizarre power to predict the future, seeing as he made Death Stranding years before the virus hit us and killed everybody.
Angel.
Only thing I'm just hearing is Snake.
That's him.
The horrors of social media and internet culture 20 years ago, back in 2001 on Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thank you for joining us, Nora. It was awesome. Keep watching us. We might actually bring you back up on the screen later.
Alrighty.
I got
this. Oh, you got this?
I got this. I'm not on screen, am I?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're off screen. You're doing tech work.
Yeah.
Your presence is too powerful for the screen.
Speaking of Hideo Kojima, last week you said that you were going to try out Death Stranding. How's that going?
I've been trying it out. Since the game is not exactly at my speed, since I prefer action games, I decided to go slower, play 1 hour a day. But then 1 hour became 2 hours because, hang on, I got to finish these deliveries. And then the 2 hours became 3 hours as the game starts to open up. And now I realize I was wrong. This is not a walking simulator after all.
Oh,
what is it?
This is a country building simulator that is also a walking simulator, because a few hours in, the game goes, hey, how about you start building some structures to make the walking easier on you? And you start building structures and connecting roads and making stations, and you get help from the other players who can share resources with you and you can share with them. And through all this, Sam is still just doing his deliveries. There's a very bizarre feeling of disconnect. Like, I see the progress I'm doing. Sam just keeps on walking from point A to point B. There is something, I can't put it down. I can't really explain it. Also, there's actual fighting in this game. Hand-to-hand fighting.
Oh, wow.
Sam Porter Bridges is, in a way, a complete opposite thematically of what Snake is. Yeah.
So Snake is an infiltration killing machine who happens to be the perfect soldier built through genetics, and Sam Porter Bridges is what? A total pacifist who's just a
humble
regular guy.
Yeah, like both of the Metal Gear and Death Stranding features these massive open worlds. The difference is getting to the goal in Metal Gear is basically, is the goal. The journey is the important part in both sides. In the Metal Gear series, traversing to the landscape offers you lots of resources and little sights to see as you go to your journey. In Death Stranding is the opposite. The terrain itself is the journey. There's barely any enemies to fight, and the way structure means that something as simple as the elevation of terrain can be the difference between getting your delivery in one piece and having to find another way to get around it. Sam himself is like a character opposite of Big Boss and Solid Snake. He's not a fighter. He's just a delivery man. He has no great goal in mind. He's basically being emotionally blackmailed into this. And consider the following. CQC is about getting up close and personal with your enemies and beating the shit out of them quickly and efficiently. Not only does Sam have a psychological aversion to touching people, his fighting is brawling at best. Not a hint of martial arts or gunslinging. The dude just punches like a normal person would. And, oh, yeah, don't kill people. If you kill a person, you don't understand. You have to dispose of the body. Otherwise, it will blow up and it will affect gameplay. That entire section of the map is gone, including everything that you built in it.
Well, shit.
I don't know. For a game that feels so empty at times, there is an insane amount of detail. The mere act of looking at a cliff and going, oh, Jesus, I'm going to have to go around this or climb it, and it fills me with dread of thinking, okay, How do I position my cargo? Do I have the right tools? Am I going to be in trouble? Are the BTs close by? Is the baby okay? It's a surprising amount of management of. There's a lot for a game that seems so empty at first glance. Is the best way I can describe it.
It seems like it's just a simple thing. Oh, I'm just walking. Oh, big deal. Nope. You're not just walking. You are balancing your footwork. You are balancing your cargo. You have to figure out. You have to figure out how to distribute your weight. You have to figure out your course as you're taking each individual step towards your goal, and you have to figure out the most efficient and effective way of doing it while avoiding confrontations from marauders, from BTs, from your baby burping inside its jar, and then you feel the burp, and then you kind of have to fart. Yeah, it's horrible, but it's also an experience.
It's on one hand, I perfectly understand why some people wouldn't like this game. It is genuinely not for everyone. I would highly recommend anybody to give it a shot. They might find themselves interested in the story and the sheer amount of insane detail. But if you don't like it, you know what? It's cool. I understand. But I'm happy to say that by itself, the game has no technical issues or anything in the game itself that makes me feel bad about playing it. Like, there's nothing going, well, this is fucking broken. It's just, it's fun in its own bizarre way. And I guess this is one of those things that I feel when I try new things. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. I tried Final Fantasy XIV and I'm kind of hooked in it because it's fun. I like the story. I like the setting. I like the characters. I don't care that much for the gameplay because MMO shenanigans. But the gameplay is good enough that it doesn't really become a hassle. Overall, I gotta be honest with you. I'm really enjoying my quarantine time. Being forced to stay inside, play video games, and practice my cooking. What a terrible fate that has turned out to be. Also, speaking of which, small tip on that, I am happy to say that I can finally make grilled cheese without burning it.
Hey, nice. Very good, very good. And I'm glad, I'm glad that quarantine has allowed us to, keep our hopes high and, keep us productive and not have us lose our sanity. I can't speak for everyone, but personally, that's what I've been doing, and I'm glad that you're doing that. And I'm pretty sure that Juan Angel here has been doing it as well. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Oh, and
he'll live.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not all good news. Like, well, first of all, I'm sorry, and I hate to get into politics. I'm going to try to keep my mentioning of politics as brief as possible. But man, did Governor DeSantis took his sweet time to issue a statewide stay-at-home order.
He certainly did, though. Makes you wonder just what exactly was stopping him from doing so.
Yeah, it's almost as if he didn't give a shit about human life. How about that?
Yeah,
Wait, are you telling me that people in positions of power don't give a damn about the little man?
Or maybe he's just, he's just an idiot. He's just a stupid idiot who doesn't know what to do.
Never attribute to malice that can be more easily attributed to stupidity. I mean, hell, have you seen the most recent trend of people with not enough common sense chasing internet clout by leaking toilets?
Oh, God.
Listen, I'm not saying I hope they die. I'm saying I hope natural selection keeps doing exactly what she's doing.
Jeez, dude. Come on.
Oh, wait. It gets better. Recent notifications. A woman was arrested because she went into a grocery food store and she deliberately coughed and spit on about $30,000 worth of produce.
Okay, that's something I want to talk about. That is something I want to talk about. That is the level of stupidity plus a level of... Well, no. It's just plain stupidity because how stupid do you have to be to actually deliberately and willfully contaminate all of the food products inside a store?
Was she trying to probably go into the thought of, oh, hey, I licked it, that means I get it for free or something stupid like that?
Or maybe...
Hang on, guys. Sorry, it was worse than I thought. It was actually $35,000 worth of food.
Jesus!
35,000. Okay, no, that woman needs
35. Yeah, no, throw the book at her.
Throw the book at her. Throw her in jail.
Oh no, yeah.
No calorie.
It's already being stated by the Hanover Township Police Department that the woman intentionally contaminated the food, and they plan to file criminal charges against her once her mental health treatment concludes. So now, deliberately coughing on somebody, whether you're sick or not, is essentially domestic terrorism.
That's nasty. So
I wish
we live in a society that is doing its darnest to not be a society anymore.
We live in a quarantine society.
No, not even that. No. This society is falling in the crapper, and these people are licking the crappers. Why are people licking the crappers? This makes no sense.
Well, see, I wouldn't mind licking wrappers, but I would frown upon those who don't discard of them.
No, not wrappers. Crappers, yes.
Oh, well.
CRAPPERS. Crappers.
Remember many years ago when I said that social media was a mistake?
Yes.
Allow me to offer my humble hypothesis in this matter. Social media creates clout. Now, we discussed this many years ago that the biggest amazing power of the internet is that it can turn anybody into an asshole. You just need to give them two things: an audience and anonymity. Now, anonymity is not there anymore. All we have is the audience, which means that people become showmen and they chase the clout, the fame, the desire to be noticed and seen by hundreds upon thousands is an addictive feeling. A metaphorical spotlight shining upon your life. That's why Let's Plays and Twitch streaming have become so popular in recent years. But now, with quarantine basically forcing us down, forcing us to stay home, people are becoming, what's the term? Cabin fever? Is that what I'm looking for?
Yeah.
I believe
And so, in chase of the high of clout, the high of being noticed and pointed at and being celebrated for doing something wacky and outlandish, people are going to as many lengths as they can find for the desperate need to obtain those 5 more minutes of internet fame. They crave that shit like an alcoholic craves a shot of vodka after 3 months of going cold turkey. They need it.
That sounds like a really good theory, but I don't know, man. I think that's reading too much into it. I think we have to think about.
Maybe they are just fucking dumb. There's that too. But you guys
no.
As you
No
said
one
earlier,
said that.
never attribute to what is it? Don't attribute to insanity what stupidity can easily explain.
Malice. Don't attribute to deliberate malice what can be explained by just stupidity.
Yeah, maybe.
And hey, maybe that is just stupidity, because we did have that case of several college students that deliberately went to the beach party, and 7 of them ended up infected because of it.
It's stupidity. It's people not taking the situation seriously.
I'm not saying I want them to die. I'm just saying that if they do, action, consequence. That's all.
But as in your belief is they brought it on themselves.
If you deliberately take action knowing the consequences, don't blame others for your mistakes. If you smoke, don't blame others for your lung cancer. If you drink, don't blame others for alcoholism. You're responsible for yourself and your body, and because of what's happening now, you're also responsible for other people's health by the way you act and behave. So if something bad happens to you because you deliberately go out of your way to hurt yourself, I have no pity or empathy for those people.
No sympathy, no pity, no consequence, nothing. Yeah, no, they brought it themselves.
Yeah, no.
I can't see it in me. Oh, Nora Otaku says it's Resident Evil 2020, and considering the release of Resident Evil 3 remake just recently, you might be closer to it than you think.
Oh my god!
Fun fact. The opening
any...
of Resident Evil 3 remake begins with live action footage. Just to drive the point closer a little more.
Right. Don't give out spoilers.
No spoilers. It's just fun.
Okay, cool. But no, we haven't seen any undead zombies yet. But no, everything with relating to COVID-19 has been nothing more but than a downward spiral. Like, there were movies that were scheduled to come out around this time. Like, we were supposed to have the Black Widow come out around March, right?
Yeah, she was supposed to be coming out right this second.
She was supposed to be coming out right this second. Now they've postponed the release date until November.
If I recall, I heard rumors of discussing a digital release too.
A digital release too, yes, for both Black Widow and for Disney's Mulan.
Actually, the bit with what's her face with Black Widow, they officially confirmed it. It's just releasing in November.
Oh well, okay, that's good. Natasha needs a chance to shine again, and I was gonna be really sad if she didn't get it, because I don't know. I really wanted to see that movie. I really
love Black Widow. She got
yes, indeed.
She deserves some loving.
And and a lot of businesses are impacted by this whole COVID-19 situation. One business in particular, well, they thought that they could stick it to the man, and well, as a result, they have gone out of business. I'm sure we've talked about this last week. GameStop trying to stick it to the man.
Hey, how dare you? We're essential. Now watch us be essential to our employees by purposely putting them in a health risk. Let us purposely be essential to our customers by gouging them and accepting their filthy trade-ins that are gross and shit and clearly aren't well taken care of. And let's be essential to the government by sticking it to them. Oh wait, the state of Pennsylvania revoked our business license.
Yeah,
who could have possibly predicted this?
Now, Juan Angel, I did send you guys links to a leaked conference call from GameStop. Have you guys had a chance to take a look at it?
Yes, I have.
I gotta be honest with you. When you sent it to me, I thought it was a parody. It just the way those people were communicating and referring to them to like the way they were referring to their crew, like basically less than human resources was less than resource. When you sent me that link, I thought it was a parody.
Okay.
I thought it was a joke, but no, this actually happened. They really sank that low just to get a few more sales, which honestly just means that the business itself is just going to the toilet if they're willing to get this desperate just to keep themselves open a bit longer.
Oh no.
This is just depressing. It's because it just goes to show you, and I already made this point last week. It goes to show you just how fragile some of these buildings, or rather, some of these businesses, and just how on the edge of complete collapse they really are. At the end of the day, all it took was a really bad situation to grind their industry to a halt, to the point of no freaking return.
Yeah,
and
just destroyed.
And the way that they had been behaving by not giving proper preparations to their staff, by continued practices of gouging their customers while offering peanuts in return.
Oh, it got worse than that.
Like it's karma at work. As terrible and as rude as it sounds, this feels like the work of karma coming back and biting GameStop in the ass in well-deserved fashion.
Pretty much.
Yeah, inevitable. Also, and I never thought this would happen. Me, like many other young boys of my age, began with Blockbuster. Then I transitioned to Walmart. Then I went to GameStop. And I stayed in GameStop for many years, and I got many of my products from them. But a few days ago, when I went to get Doom Eternal, I found something that genuinely, it was so simple that it left me flabbergasted.
What's up?
Walmart is cheaper than GameStop now. If I buy Doom Eternal new from GameStop, I pay like $60-something. It's not 60 anymore. It's 60-something plus tax and whatever the hell.
Yeah.
If I went to Walmart, just $50. And I'm sitting here like, when did this happen? Wasn't it supposed to be the other way around? And it was weird because I should have known, but it just kind of hit me out of nowhere like, oh, this is how low you're falling. Walmart is beating you in prices.
And do you have the game right now?
I certainly do.
Can you please show it off for our audience that's watching live?
Behold, my friends, the most beautiful third-person shooter / action game I have ever had the misery to play for the last few hours.
Beautiful.
Cool.
It looks great.
Look at
Not
that.
just look great, though. Reversible cover great.
Nice.
Overall, a fantastic ride. Highly recommended if you guys enjoyed the previous one. A bit more difficult now due to the more resource management intensive game of it. But overall, I really, really enjoy it. Kind of feels like playing Devil May Cry in first-person mode with Gunslinger equipped.
All right. Nice, man.
The second you get there and the enemies start to spawn, and it becomes a beautiful frenzy. This lovely harmony of carnage. I can hardly describe it into words. It's just fun. It's fun.
It's
like
fun.
The SpongeBob episode.
Yes, it's fun. Doom should be fun, and Doom should never be dull.
Yeah, and as Nora said, love the music. The music is just as good, if not better than it was before. Once more, shout out to Mick Gordon for delivering the beautiful, beautiful metal symphonies.
Hey, jeez. Were you about to say something?
No, I was going to say, as we had stated before we started the stream, Doom Guy is quite literally the nicest, most Christian boy you will ever know in your life, because he goes out of his way to battle the demons of hell and destroy them from trying to conquer the earth. He is doing God's work.
He cares.
God's work.
He cares so much that he's willing to spend an eternity ripping and tearing just to save us. Also, once again, reminding us that game journalism has absolutely no credentials in this world. Guess what? Guess what is one of the criticisms that I saw floating around the internet for a while before it got promptly. Okay, first off, this thing got deleted like a day after it came out.
All right.
Before
you get into the story, Angel, if anyone watching, if you guys have any comments, anything you want to say about Doom Eternal, any questions about Doom Eternal, perhaps Angel might be able to answer them since he is our gaming expert. And
I haven't exactly beaten it yet, but I'll apply my limited knowledge to it if I can.
And Nora, you're actually telling us on the private chat rather than on the comments in the stream, by the way. You're saying, we're not evil, says crying face emoji. I'm a sweet otaku demon.
Don't
And-
you listen to her, Juan.
Okay.
Those are the words of the mortally challenged coming to twist your soul.
And for the record, we're not going after people who are like Satanists or whatever. We're going against actual literal demons that you find in a portal on Mars. Like
These
we
guys are
found a
organized.
portal to hell in outer space. That
Yep.
alone, it throws you into fantasy territory. So don't take it personally, okay?
All right.
Here's the best part, though. The fact that the idea is, I love how the whole plot of Doom 2016 has been, we found the portal to hell, I'm going to use it to charge my phone. And the portal of Doom Eternal was, you know what, maybe that wasn't such a good idea.
Like, oh no,
That's
who
the
would have
plot.
thought that? Who would have
Yeah,
thought that actual energy from hell itself would possibly be a bad idea?
To be fair, though, it kept us from falling into an energy crisis.
Now,
I'm just
Angel,
saying, if the current presidency could have access to Argent energy, do you think they wouldn't use it?
They'll use any option other than actually going green.
yeah, pretty much.
Any
The
option.
sun might go out, but the fires of hell will always burn for you.
Now, Angel,
That's an
before
actual
we
line
get
of the
too
game.
distracted, I believe that there was a piece of information that you wanted to share with us.
Right. You guys are going to love this shit. Because, as I said, this got deleted almost immediately, but the blessed annons of the land of the image boards, I managed to catch a little, what's it called? An article of some journalist, the likes of which I don't want to even mention. And let me put it this way. I'm not going to read the whole thing because there's no point to it, but the article is called Doom Eternal has too much gameplay. Just think about that for a second. Doom Eternal has too much gameplay. Yes, this Doom guy is in fact made of Doom. This water seems to be somewhat wet. But yeah, in what is probably the most spectacular disappointment of journalism I've ever seen, the guy goes on a rant about how basically Doom guy is too fast-paced, too visceral, and too filled with content for him. And I'm sitting here going like, so
How boring is
What?
this journalist?
What the fuck, man?
what do you want? This feels like the critics complaining that there were too many monsters in Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Oh my freaking
Oh my
god!
God.
We reached the point where this is the clickbait of the game journalism world. This game is too much game for me.
All right. Here's the fucking truth, and I'm going to say it right now. At this point, I don't know who these guys are, but they're looking for anything to nitpick about a video game that they're playing, even if it's something that's not even close to a blemish in the overall gameplay, and that is absolutely stupid.
It's amazing.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and have Nora jump in here. She's clearly got something to say about this.
Please, because this is absolutely dumb. I can't even. I'm already got a headache as it is. This shit's gonna give me a migraine.
Hey, Nora, welcome back.
Also, Nora,
So, hello.
Also, Nora,
So-
please jump in using the comments rather than the private chat because I can't read that right away. Like I have to like toggle
I'm
over and
sorry.
move. So please, in the comments.
Yes. So, what are your
I-
thoughts about the criticism of the unknown journalist in regards to Doom Eternal saying that there is too much gameplay?
How do you have?
Like, think
How the hell
about
do
think
you
about
have
that.
too
comment.
much gameplay? How does that compute?
Hang on, she needs to find the words to understand what the hell's going on here.
Too much gameplay.
We broke her.
Oh my goodness!
Who does
you
not
feel
like
like-
to kill monsters?
Right?
Do you feel like this planet has too much oxygen to breathe? Because I think it does.
Too much gameplay. That's like. I'm sorry. That's like complaining about this.
What the hell? Oh, is that your art?
Yes.
Looking good.
Nice. Nice.
That's
Well,
like
yes.
saying, it's too much colors.
I don't understand. I'm trying to comprehend here, but it's pretty clear that we have reached the peak of gaming journalism where they're just straight up making clickbait for the sake of keeping their paychecks going.
Here's the
These
fucking
people don't know.
And here's the fucking truth, and I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to bury every video game journalist that's on the internet. Here's the thing. Don't trust them. Unless they have video content of them actually playing so we can actually see proof of how good they are or how shitty they are in a video game, I would not trust an article piece that's on the internet by a journalist because their comments, their statements have absolutely no merit. I would trust the people who are live streaming playing video games. I would trust people who actually, play freaking video games and show it off on the internet. So you could talk and show.
But what if I just play 3 hours of the game? What if I just play 1 hour of the game and make 7 pages complaining about sexism instead? And my zombie niece.
I'm sorry. I have to say this right now.
I'm sorry, that guy sounded like he was stupid.
He's either stupid or old or out of touch or I don't know. It could be a combination of the three. The point is, I think that going forward in the future, journalists should not comment anything about video games. They shouldn't even dip their toes into the whole video game industry if they're going to make stupid comments like that. I'm sorry. It's not a place for them. Video games is not for everyone. It's clearly not for journalists because they don't know exactly what the hell they're talking about.
Unless, of course, you're an actual journalist who studies the craft that you are reporting on. Like, Angel and I have had this discussion a couple of times before where basically if don't report on shit that you don't know about. Like, you wouldn't send someone who does reporting on sports to go look into municipal politics, or you wouldn't send someone who reports on weather and research from there, and you wouldn't send them to do sports. But just like lifestyle and shit, you wouldn't send your fashion journalist to go do video games. In this instance, you have someone who clearly does opinion pieces and only opinion pieces, because I don't see anything that cites any sort of friggin' problem with the game itself from what I'm hearing here. And we don't have any way of doing and he's doing video games.
Now, Angel, this article that you came across is purely nothing but 100% text. There's no link to any video footage that they've recorded, right?
No, it doesn't. The article itself doesn't even exist anymore. It was completely removed from the internet. It disappeared.
Well,
the message of it.
Well, good. Get rid of that trash.
I guess
the memory of
keep
his
away from the people who were Doom fans or people who like video games to keep away from the backlash.
Yeah, that's how it is. It occurs to me that this is to be a running trend of these people who failed at being real journalists, so they turn to video game journalism because they consider it to be easy work, only to try to report on something that they make no research at all. How many times have I seen a video game review on the internet start talking about the game and then segue into a soapbox so the journalist can somehow tell me their opinions on what they think about the current state of political and pop cultural affairs that I don't give a shit about?
Now, Angel,
play the damn game and talk about the damn game. Actually, I came here for news about entertainment.
Actually, I wanted to go ahead and jump in and add Sarah into our live stream here. How you doing tonight?
Hey!
Hello, Sarah.
Can we keep Nora there, or does this mean we have to take Nora down just for a bit?
We can hang on to Nora for now, and we'll cycle people.
You can't get rid of the black chick just because the white one showed up. That ain't cool, man.
Hey! Don't try and imply anything, okay?
What is wrong with you people? Jesus.
Now, Sarah, I'm glad that you dropped in because
we are equally opportunity jackasses here.
Equality.
Exactly. Also, it's good to see you. How are you guys doing? I haven't said that all day. It's good to actually see you again.
All right. So, Sarah,
I shall summon the Goku buddy.
Oh, hey, Goku. Now, Sarah, I'm glad you jumped in on this because we were just discussing these criticisms of a video game journalist, which Angel has not mentioned, in regards to Doom Eternal. Now, before I talk about that, are you a fan of Doom?
Or regarding video games, your experience?
No, I'm a fan of video games. I've never played Doom, just a little bit here and there, but I do like video games. So
okay, all right. Well, whether you're a Doom fan or not, I want you to hear this because this is a criticism that Angel quoted from the journalist. Angel, you have it pulled up in front of you. You quote it.
Please do.
Okay, I'm not gonna quote it post by post. The guy goes on record saying that he has grown overwhelmed by Doom's sheer high-density gameplay style. And it is true. The game is high-octane, move fast, kill demons, manage your resources, kill more demons, run all over the area. Standing still is death, as you guys saw the last time we played the game together. And the guy goes on record saying that he became so overwhelmed that he feels like the game has too much gameplay. And it was to give him a moment to rest. He starts listing ways for the game to give him a break, from changes of gameplay style to more cutscenes. And I'm sitting here going, do you not know what the pause button is?
Let that sink in, Sarah. This video game journalist is criticizing a video game for having too much video game gameplay.
See, I don't like a lot of cutscenes, though. I want to play the game. You know.
We should bring you to Doom sometime. It's fantastic.
I don't understand. He's complaining that there's too much time to play the game. Then why play the fucking game?
Exactly.
Because journalists gotta eat, and I've already said it earlier. If they need to keep their hands away from the video gaming industry and just talk about something else that journalists can talk about. That will give them.
I keep forgetting your name. The one with the
blue shirt or black shirt. Okay.
The lightest turquoise shirt. I keep forgetting your name.
Juan.
This is Juan. I am Jose. The guy on the other screen is Angel.
Hello.
Okay. Your name is hard to pronounce. Even though my boyfriend is Puerto Rican, it's like it's hard to pronounce his name. Do they sound Joe?
It's okay. If you have difficulty pronouncing his name, just think about the number 1 with an accent.
Okay.
Just think of John in Spanish.
I hate that joke. Idiot kids in friggin' schoolyards, like, oh, 1. Yes, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you're usually 1 in the whole thing.
Yeah. By the way, we got another one here, another one reviewer from The Wire. I'm not linking them anywhere. They don't deserve the views. Complaining that Doom is a dizzying catastrophe because basically it has so many mechanics that they can't handle it. It's dizzying. So essentially, this guy is so bad at playing the game that he doesn't understand how to manage mechanics.
Yeah, now it is...
Boy, never put this man to drive a car. He'll die within the first 5 minutes.
Now, it is a known fact that when it comes to the Doom games, the 2016 and the old school Doom games, you know how you guys move in a fast pace?
It was like the original first-person shooter style game, and even though it was like 16-bit graphic, it created a proper 3D space, and you would get motion sickness from playing that back in the day, and then they evolved it over, and of course, managing your peripheral vision along with the stuff that's happening in front of you, you have to be awake and aware. It's part of the frenetic motion of the gameplay. It's the trademark of it. It's shit's happening now right in front of you. Oh my god, it's going to kill you. Yeah. Jump at it and attack.
Apparently, gotta go fast.
That's too much for this other video game journalist.
Now, on one hand, and I'm trying, and I'm sticking to my opinions on this, but on one hand, when it comes to the Doom gameplay, the mechanics, how it's made and everything, no, it's not for everyone if you can't keep up with the gameplay. However, journalists should stay away from video games altogether.
If they're not actually dedicated to video games, and if they're not actually dedicated to, like, okay, I want to discover more about the game, I want to actually put a proper opinion in, and I actually want to try and enjoy it a little bit, as well as let people know whether or not it's worth my time, that's fine. But if you're not even going to put the effort into it by like, oh god, the mechanics of it of the game itself is too much for me. Oh no, there's too much gameplay in this. It's too much. Like, mother of fuck, I cannot.
Well, we're not looking at it from a bias standpoint. Like, if you're a gamer and you're into the Doom series, you'd love it. Me myself, I'm not into this stuff. They're being totally biased, and that's not journalism.
Like, exactly. It's not like on the other. However, on the other hand, it's not really a matter of like, oh, I'm a Doom fanboy. It's more a matter of like, how much time are you actually going to put into like learning about the game, messing around with the controls, getting yourself accustomed to it before going ahead and presenting an opinion on it. And considering the turnaround for these, like when did Doom Eternal come out? It was on the 20th, correct?
Yes.
So that means that they have already played through the game and set their minds on it, and it has only been what, a week, 2 weeks? No.
Oh, play through the game? Oh, please, no. They don't put that much time. You gotta meet those deadlines, man. These people basically play the game for a few hours, bang up a quick review, and then they go to the next one so they can find something political or race-based to complain about. That's what it all works about.
In my point of view, I should think that the people who actually play the game should do the reviews than the journalists themselves. Because if you take somebody who hasn't even played it or has no experience of it, then it's going to make people, oh, we're not going to play this game. Why don't you give it to the people who actually played the game?
Yeah, that's why I will trust a random YouTube channel that actually plays games over any of these so-called journalists, because I may not agree with their opinion, but I know that their opinion is at least more honest than somebody who gets paid to tell me what to buy.
More informed. Like, you need to inform yourself with the gameplay.
That works.
Angel, I have two questions, if you don't mind. Number one, is it the same guy who criticized Devil May Cry 5?
No, thankfully, no. It's just some random nobody that just became a journalist.
And number two, how far did he mention that he got into the game?
He didn't.
So
that's like playing Candy Crush and just not beating level 1, even though level 1 is easy.
Okay.
See, considering how fast the game... Here's the thing. By extrapolation, considering how quickly the game throws new things at you, and based on what I got from that review before it got deleted from the internet forever, I'm guessing he played about 2 hours at the most. Because by 2 hours, I had like 3 different weapons and 2 other sub-weapons and a chainsaw.
Wancho?
That sounds right. I'm over here like, if this guy isn't going to cite how much time he played, if he's not going to show like an example of his gameplay, which you can do these days on websites in different news sites, you can actually put up a little clip and use that as a supplement to your written article. You can do that. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You mean to tell me that this guy who has these resources available to him, who is being paid to play a video game and to provide a critique of the game, is not using these resources to the best of his ability and is only cranking out articles for the sake of meeting deadlines and not investing enough into the game in order to provide an informed opinion? Yeah. And this motherfucker's making money while we're stuck here broke as hell.
No.
We may be broke, but we have some integrity left in our hearts.
Cancel that fucker. There.
No.
Hearts.
One, I was going to. Did I say one on one? One, I was going to say at least your last name was not saying, "Hey, are you related to Alicia Keys?" And then they sing the song "I Keep on Falling."
Jesus. I'm trying to keep it all together.
It's okay. There can be only one.
FBI, open up. It's happening.
Where'd that bowl go? Why?
Great. Just great.
I'm sorry, guys.
But yeah. So I just know how this has become to getting. This is basically. I want us to remember this moment because this is the peak of video game journalism. That which began with genuine reviews began to get more and more slanted toward politics and pop culture, got wrecked to shit because of the Gamergate scandal, and now has shown its true colors as genuinely nothing more than a clickbait factory. They do it just to piss you off because the more views you give them so you can complain about them, the more money they get. It's how it all works. They don't care about the news or the originality or the genuinity. They care about controversy because people want to be angry at seeing somebody say something stupid. We are addicted to the heat of the dumpster fire.
I get it. Just like how
it's like a psychological thrill.
I think I get what you're saying, Angel. Just like how news reporters, like, they get a kick out of reporting something that some sort of tragedy that's happened, and they just
I don't think they get a kick.
News.
They have to.
Like crime.
Notice how the news never tell you anything good that's happening, even if something good is happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. For example, At one point, we made a huge breakthrough, and we found out that it's possible to cure people of several strands of HIV. That sounds great. That got a corner article until the next big article of Orange Man Bad showed up. Because as long as you can do something to make people angry and B, feel good about how angry they are, they will keep coming back and watching your crap over and over again.
Like,
I think you.
Nobody does not want to sit around and watch a Cheeto Puff.
okay, so I
Yes.
guess we're all in agreement. I believe, can we all universally say clickbait sells in terms
Oh,
of?
absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've
It's
got
a
a breaking
scandal. I
article
love
for
it.
you. I've got a breaking article for you right now. Here's a headline.
Oh, boy.
On aroused, one of the heads of Ravens flock chokes the other head on screen. Oh no, it's so sensational.
Oh God!
Oh, my
Domestic
God.
violence breaks into the aroused household after quarantine virus causes unheard of levels of cabin fever.
It's
More
not
news
your
at 9.
No, stop it!
Oh
please,
my God.
Please,
So
stop!
controversial.
Oh.
Oh,
We
no.
all-
I
Speaking of
caught
which,
glimpse
though,
of the
Here's
glass.
a live update. Jose Casabona, head of the Ravens flock, fights back. This is
breaking news.
like when doves cry.
You guys remember the last time we were here and I said there was going to be a divorce? I wasn't talking about me.
Okay, so
Actually, speaking of which, there has been a surprising rise in divorces. Maybe all these matrimonies were not meant to be. If all it takes is a few days together,
you brought
and
that
suddenly
up.
the love is gone.
Last week.
You said that last week.
I
dude.
did. My
Yes.
bad. I stand by my point, though. Maybe if you're about to kill your loved one with a knife 5 days into quarantine, you may have thought a little more carefully about happily ever after, you dumb shits.
All right.
Dude,
well,
okay,
yeah,
well-
we're talking about something that's already old. Now, back to the subject on the thing. I'm gonna nip it in the butt with this message. Yes, like Angel said, trust the game players, trust people who are on YouTube channels who actually do gameplays, who actually show you the gameplays, so that they talk and show. Do not trust any journalistic articles that you find on the internet because number
9 times out of 10, they're underinformed. There.
exactly.
All right,
Yep.
put that aside. Like, moral alert, let's go ahead and file that one away. Anyone who wants to refer back can refer back to this in the future.
Exactly.
I was going to debate. I'm just gonna call you Jay because
Juan,
I'm gonna get the name mixed.
Juan,
Juan.
what do you want to debate me on?
I don't know.
It's
Ever
the
since this quarantine,
J-Man.
ever since this quarantine, my brain's been like, you know the name, but you keep forgetting. So I'm just gonna call you Jay or Mr. J. Why don't I say the Joker?
Oh, Mr. J, I like that.
Oh, the irony.
Listen here, sonny boy.
Oh God, you got it started.
Just because I happen to share my first initial with that oh so odious clown prince of crime does not make me the goddamn Joker. Okay, I can do the voice and I can get off with that. And Mark Hamill, senpai, please notice me, but no, please do not call me Mr. J.
But here's the question, Juan. Can you do a convincing high schooler impression?
What?
What?
Impression?
Welcome to Gotham High.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
You're done.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
See,
¿Por qué no? Why not?
it's okay.
Why?
It's okay. It will be quickly forgotten, like the bad fan fiction that it is. But my goodness gracious,
One,
ahead.
I was gonna do a debate with you and
About
talk
what?
about like my plan was to do a live Twitter to cut down on the would you like to have a seat thingy because I really feel like enough is enough because I wanted to make this my last time to say this before I just go on my life to hey, I guess I should go back to drawing again, even though my art is crap. So
It's not crap.
You
I see
should.
Your art is fine.
not only should you
Go
go
ahead
back,
and
I
take a
can
look
guarantee
at
you
her
without a
art.
shadow of a doubt that it's less crap than you think.
All right. What specifically were you going to debate me about? I because this is coming out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on.
I was gonna I was gonna talk to you about saying, hey, like this whole I was gonna say, hey, this is gonna be my last time talking about Princess Onion because I am completely tired of people having a little hate boner about getting mad at Chris Hansen for not doing the interview.
Give me 2 seconds here.
Yeah.
Here,
That's
this feels better.
strange. Why do people get mad about that?
All right, Angel. He's referring to Onision, everyone's favorite dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
And,
don't really think
here's-
it's much of a debate. At the end of the day, is basically simple. It boils down to he's the scum of the earth. He needs to be dragged across the coals, across a bed of hot coals, and he needs to be dragged across that very, very slowly. And by slowly, I mean fucking slow. And he needs to be locked up in a jail cell with his spouse in another jail cell on the opposite end of the planet.
Yeah, but
Like, I don't really think it's too much of a debate for that. Like, what else needs to be debated about?
Yeah,
That's one thing I was gonna talk about. It's like this. Here's the thing. I wanted to tell everybody on Twitter if they watch it. I doubt anybody watching my video. Here's the thing.
Share this video and have them watch this.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
Here's the thing. Justice does not work like CSI or Law and Order or Criminal Minds. FBI investigations, like Chris Hansen said, they take time.
Yeah.
Think of Epstein. Think of R. Kelly. Think of Austin Jones. Think of all those people who used their fame and all that kind of stuff to their advantage. Guess how long it took? It took a very long time. And
the problem is that everyone who's used to watching these TV procedurals or used to watching Chris Hansen on TV, we're accustomed to seeing the identification, the apprehension, and conviction all within like a 1 hour package. And you have like his show used to be like 1 hour long, and you have like 3 different guys that you'd go through, and it's all neatly wrapped up, and they're arrested within 20 minutes of watching, even with commercial breaks. And like it's that sort of mentality that's got people thinking like, oh well, why isn't it done now? We've started back in November. Like, yeah, as far as we know, that's how long that was how long we've had. Like the FBI have had this case open with this motherfucker. We don't know how much more evidence or what specific sort of circumstances the departments that are investigating him are waiting for. Like, you've got to understand, they have to do everything they possibly can in order to gain a conviction. Not just, okay, he's being accused of a crime. We need something that's solid evidence. We need something that we can like A to B him on perfectly, because this motherfucker has a bad history of skating the lines between what's legal and what's moral. It's like, oh yeah, well, I totally took this girl in when she was 16 or 17 and at 18 and a half. I hate how he fucking said that. Oh, she was 18 and a half.
And that was one that like,
and then I threw her out.
That was one of the things I wanted to tell people. It's like, hey, these things like this, and like when people get mad when I was at the gym, this is before the whole pandemic hit. Everybody's ranting on, well, why didn't you guys say anything? Why didn't the NTO do something? It's like, and one thing I have to give Stevie Wolf credit for is like, why didn't you say anything? I was spreading the awareness. Like, you guys are sitting on your butts doing nothing.
Like,
until Chris Hansen hopped in.
I was gonna say, Sarah and myself, we had been like sharing every single article and every single bit of information about this guy for as long as as long as this has been going on. Sarah had to bow out because, you know, of course, at this point, like you'd been rolling back. You're like, okay, the Antio community has been assholes to you, and you sort of stepped out from that.
Yeah, but then I started doing it again because it's just, you know, I can't take it, so I need to spread the word.
Yeah, exactly. The justification that I always come up with, and like, hey, Juan, this has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with your life. Why do you bother talking about this guy? And I refer back to a single line from the movie The Boondock Saints. We must all fear evil men, but there is another evil which we must fear most, and that is the indifference of good men. I refuse to be indifferent towards this shit, because the shit that Onision does is, in and of itself, evil as fuck. It is evil, plain and simple. And the fact that he gets away with it because it is not illegal is wrong. And that needs to be projected as loudly and as frequently as it can, while at the same time we try to dig information, while we try to support the women that he had abused in this time. And we try to support each other and not try to be at each other's throats all the damn time. Because the moment we go 1 week without any sort of news or update, everyone in the Antio community decided to go at each other's throats, and I cannot stand that. It is dumb energy. So,
like, people need a reason to try to kill each other.
That's the thing. I almost joined the Anti-O, but when I figured out they were crazy, it's like, no, I'm not Antio. I just can't stand it, dude. the last straw that broke the camel's back was when he said 10 things I hate about black hair. And like, this is a lot of things. And I looked up on him, I did my research, and I looked up updates about him, and you could see his subscribers just dropping from 1.55, 50 something to 1.55.
Good.
Like they're dropping slowly.
They're slowly, but he's losing subscribers. He's losing viewership, and quite frankly, like I don't want to spend too much time talking about Onision on the Ravens Flock because yes, he's a piece of shit, but I don't want to give this guy any publicity just by mentioning him. I don't want to put him over.
That's
Not all
do wanna
publicity
say
is
real
good
quick,
publicity
though,
sometimes.
that my biggest regret is not saying something back when I first heard about him back in 2014. That's my biggest regret. Like I waited till last year, and I should
There
have
are
said something
times.
sooner.
There are times when, given the circumstances, I am willing to give people the benefit of doubt. Sometimes I don't see enough evidence. Sometimes I don't believe the other side. But it has been a long time since I have seen somebody show up how guilty they are, how incredibly quickly. He seems so arrogantly, psychotically blind to his own flaws. And that's the part that is scary about this man. Not only he seems to be clearly damaged in some way to believe that this is the right thing to do, he wholeheartedly believes what he's saying.
Yes.
He's buying his own shit, and that's what makes it worse. He seems almost oblivious to the amount of damage that he has done to himself and to other people, which of course led to the hilarious part where that he basically talked shit to Chris Hansen, and Chris Hansen showed up on his front door, essentially going, I heard you were talking shit, like I wouldn't find out. And then he retreated like a dog with his tail between his legs and called the police. And we got that glorious moment when the police is like, I'm sorry, who is at your door? Hey, Mike, are you hearing this shit?
Yeah, no. Yeah,
It was glorious. And unlike actual famous people that have lots of money and influence, Onision is lacking both of those things. So I like to believe, and this may sound naively optimistic on my part, I like to believe that no matter how long it takes in this case, justice will in fact be done.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could just advocate for vigilantism and start doing some horrible Batman shit. I don't know. That's up to you guys.
Hi, Angel.
K-Storm says hi, guys.
Hi, Kay. What's up? I'm looking the wrong way. Hi, Kay. What's up?
Oh, and there was one thing I wanted to ask. I don't know. This is something from art-wise, I don't know. There were I'm trying to make a little buck here and there. Like, do you accept fan art or something?
Do we
Sure.
accept fan art? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you just let me know, hang on. Is my thing
We
even
do
on?
accept fan art, and if you want to submit any fan art, submit it to our email, which is the ravensflockonline@gmail.com.
It's in the business inquiry bit on our channel over here. So if you want to send it over, let us know, and we'll go ahead and see if we can spot you anything for your effort and for your trouble.
Absolutely. And you know what? I want to take this time to announce right now that, for those who don't know, we also have another show, which is a podcast called The Black Files. It's on our iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on Stitcher.
And we do a video version that comes up here as well.
Exactly. What I would like to do, what I want to do for the foreseeable future for The Black Files, I can't give you a timetable as to when our next episode is going to be. But if you have any questions of anything nerd news related that you would like to submit to us, either drop a comment here on YouTube or send us the questions on our email on the ravensflockonline@gmail.com. I'll bring it up for Juan to answer.
Why am I answering?
Because you're the host of the show.
Oh, yeah, because I host.
And because you don't want me answering the questions.
Yeah, because I wanted to say, I was gonna say earlier, I was like, I'm doing it fine. I just feel like I should give up on my drawing. It's nothing but garbage because I can't draw anything without looking at somebody left and right saying, oh, this person's better than me.
No, it ain't garbage. You'll believe me. You haven't seen garbage. Like, I tried to draw, and like my friend, she's like, "Oh my god, you drew like a picture of me for my birthday. It's so cute." I'm like, "Yeah, I tried to," but she's like, "No, it looks so cute. It looks so awesome. Thank you so much." I'm like, "Why do I like I know that she means it, but I'm like, I still feel like they suck." But
I know my drawings suck.
Okay, his definitely sucks.
I don't draw, but I have been to the depths of DeviantArt.
Yeah, and
you don't know what bad art is.
What does it have to do
we
with
have-
your drawing skills?
We have seen things. We have seen things that I really defy description, honestly. It's kind of astounding. Point in case is your art is actually pretty good. Shut the fuck up and draw more things. We'll throw you money.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that shit.
Great!
Hey,
That looks great. See?
I love that.
That
Look at
looks
this
awesome.
weeaboo
That
stuff.
is pretty.
That's a good ninja girl. That ninja girl is thick.
Yes, indeed.
Powerful
It's supposed
thighs.
to be a Kunoichi version of the Japanese giant hornet. I don't know
Oh,
why,
I'm
but I
horned
find
all
that-
right.
I don't know why, but I find that bug to be fascinating. So it's like, it's from Japan.
Yes.
Hornet.
Um,
Kunoichi. Hornet.
okay. There is another
Sting,
thing.
murder. It works.
There was another thing that I wanted to bring up. But I completely forgot what it was. I hate when that happens. Don't you
No,
hate
no,
that?
it's okay.
Yeah, same. Like that's what happened to me last week. That's what I did last week. It's like, deadly, sexy, deadly, sexy, deadly, sexy, deadly, sexy. Kunoichi this.
Both.
Oh, I see. How do I put the concept of fear boner into a canvas? And that's how it goes.
Fear boner.
Hey, no.
Oh god.
God.
That's
Actually, I wanna-
perfectly fine. It works. It works, and the result was good. And trust me, I may not be an artist, but I have been in the internet long enough to tell you that something is bad or good. Your shit looks good.
It is.
Yes.
I'm not a chef, but I can tell you the food is pretty tasty.
Okay,
See,
that's
there you
that's
go.
good. That's good. I actually want to recycle. I actually want to cycle back to an earlier topic because we were all talking about like, hey, how we were doing it with quarantine and how well we were doing. How are you holding up, Sarah?
I'm doing pretty well. Honestly, I'm trying to get through this dumb book to do for a review for my channel, but oh my gosh, this person has such a high opinion of herself.
Oh
It's
gee.
bad.
One of those.
Ugh. God.
One of those, huh? What's it called? I want to know what it is.
Oh, it's by Lily Pons.
Okay.
Oh.
Say no
Oh.
more. Say no more.
No, we got it. I'm just gonna back down real quick. I'm good.
Oh,
Lily
okay.
Pons. Who is she?
Okay.
She's one of the worst comedians on YouTube who gives female comedians a bad name.
Lily Pons. Lily Pons.
Hey, you know how people say
Are you
Amy
talking?
Schumer sucks as a comedian?
Lily,
Okay.
wait a minute. Are you talking about the what's her face who does the parent reacts? No. That's Lily Singh.
Okay. Do you know how? Like I was trying to say, do you know how people say Amy Schumer sucks as a comedian?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amy Schumer would say Lily Pons sucks as a comedian, and she would be right. Like Lily Pons tries to do like sitcom style comedy, except it's really, really cheap, and it doesn't connect. It doesn't actually like the punchlines don't hit when she's trying to do comedy.
Yeah, like
she started as like a Viner, right? And then she
Yeah.
moved over to
Is this the same one though? The last name Singh, like
No,
Singh?
that's Lily Singh.
Okay, because that
I
one is
heard that
just
she's
as
in
bad. But
trouble. I heard
Good.
that she's in trouble.
Oh, well,
Good.
I mean, they've all stolen jokes, so.
yeah.
yeah, let's just say that. Let me put it this way: these people are a representation of the bad stereotype. Like the bad stereotype of women aren't funny. Like Lily Pons is basically what happens if you make the stereotype a reality. If
See,
you
that's
take the
what-
lie and make it real, that's what you get.
Is talk about the myth of women not being funny and that she perpetuates that myth. So does Gabby Hanna. So does Hannah Stocking. So does Amy Schumer.
I have
Shit,
seen
man.
some of Amy Schumer's material, unfortunately, so I can vouch for that.
Like, okay, I can get behind Wanda Sykes. I can get behind Sarah Silverman. Them ladies is funny as hell.
Especially
Alright.
Sarah Silverman. Oh boy.
Okay, yeah, no, it's
Shit's
like,
hilarious.
it's like there's like a de-evolution in terms of coming up with originality and coming up with like material that can actually connect. One of the dumbest things that still sticks with me to this day is a bit of a routine from Lewis Black. And one of the things that he like, I don't know if any of you guys know Lewis Black. I know Angel.
Oh,
I know Lewis
Nora,
Black.
do you know Lewis Black?
Mm.
Yep. Nora, do you know about Lewis Black at all?
No, I'm much more to sit around and watch crime TV shows and anime shows. I'm
All right.
bland.
All right, you want to
I
check
don't
him
know.
out sometime. His shit's funny. Okay, he's a much older dude. He comes off cranky and spastic, and one of the things that he uses as a part of his comedic elements, I guess, is the fact that he was born, raised Jew as all hell. So he uses that as part of his like stick. And so one element that comes up is how people try to use the Bible as a crutch for like, oh no, we should pass a law to ban gay marriage and all this stuff because the Bible is supposed to be man and women. He's like, okay, where? What in the Old Testament? Do you remember what times people lived in the Old Testament? Those were rules that that Moses and the Jewish government had tried to come up with in order to keep everyone who was living in the desert, who was going crazy as hell, from going mad and falling in love with their camels. Okay. Like, it's like mankind was wild as fuck back then. We needed to keep our shit from being crazy, from going too crazy, and from keeping the human race from dying out. After a couple thousand years, that's when you had that's when you finally had like if you want to talk about Jesus coming up, it's like, okay, we don't have to worry about the old rules anymore. We don't need them anymore. Now we just need one simple rule.
That's what I'm saying.
So, and he brings this stuff up, like, and people like went crazy with him at that. How dare you throw this out? Like, it's just funny as hell because he's so spastic in his delivery on this, but he's actually talking about shit that makes sense.
He's right though.
He
Like-
does have a point.
Like, what was it?
I love how the measure of a good comedian is how hard they tell you the truth. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just saying that I love how nowadays the measure of a good comedian is how hard they tell you the truth. Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones is not a comedy. It's just Dave Chappelle sitting in front of a chair telling you how shit is for 2 hours. It's the funniest thing I ever seen in my life.
And it was hysterical too. Like it's like it goes back to like the old age of like fucking having a court jester who's like the only guy in the entire kingdom who can jab jokes at the fucking king to his face, and everyone gets to laugh along, and he doesn't get his head chopped off.
Yeah.
Because he's delivering the shit in ways that gets people to laugh. And oh, hey, there's a bit of a message there. But thankfully, the kings don't have to worry about that because this guy knows not to pull too many threads, or else he'll get his head chopped off. But the point of that is that that's like proper comedy. That's how you can build that sort of comedic delivery, and you can build up to that. But like Lele Pons doesn't have that sort of connection. She doesn't know how to have that sort of like, even if you're just doing acting out in sitcom style, she just sucks at delivery for it. Are you drinking beer?
There's also the fact that there's also the fact that you don't have to worry about that because we live in a time of canceling. When saying anything even slightly offensive results in a who's who of assholes coming from the woodwork to essentially
That's
stamp
one thing
you
I miss
down.
about comedy. I miss how like we can make fun of each other without getting butt hurt.
Yeah.
For example,
Like,
I'm pretty sure I'm insulting several vegetarians by doing this right now.
Oh, nice.
I can literally say something humorous about myself. Yeah, I'm fast. Like, yeah, like I make earthquakes every time DoorDash opens. Every time DoorDash comes.
God.
Okay, but here's the fun part, though. Here's the fun part, though. If we were having a conversation and you made a joke about me and my race, I'd laugh it off. But I make a joke about you and your skin color or your weight, I will disappear from the web and my dead body will be found 3 weeks later in a coastal guard in Panama somewhere. Because
why would anyone go to Panama to dump you off?
Why go
because
that far?
I'm not good enough for the American dumpsters. That's why. Look at all this filthy Cuban blood flowing through my veins.
God damn it, dude. No, like you actually reminded me of something like in terms of like people trying to do cancel culture and shit. 2 nights ago, our friend Andy Signor, who runs the Popcorn Planet channel, had done a almost 5-hour-long live stream, and he was using it as a fundraiser to put donations up to the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay over here in Florida for people who are dealing with like suicide hotlines or who are dealing with domestic abuse. He went for 5 hours, long as hell, just talking about different stuff in like geek community and his own experience of having been canceled back in the day. And he wound up raising $400 out of that entire stream.
Interesting.
Which is like not bad, right? Right, you run for 5 hours long, and and all that money is donated to charity. One dude came up the very next day and basically said, like, "Oh, well, that's nice. You donated money. Why don't you donate your own money instead of raising other people's money and getting them to do it for you?" It's like, dude, that money that he would normally be raising that he's donating. Normally, people donate to him so that he can use it so he can eat, so he can put a roof over his house for his kids, so that he has a life. And he's taking that whole chunk of money that he could have kept for himself, and he's donating that.
Yeah.
And this person decided to push it one step further, like, oh yeah, well, you're still creepy and you're still going like thirsty on women online, and you're still like being a creeper. You haven't learned your lesson at all. Cancel him now. Cancel him now. This is where it gets good.
Tell us more.
Because
Oh boy, here we go.
just yesterday, in response to this whole bit, he went up for about a half an hour with a couple other folks on his panel, like, okay, you're trying to come at me saying that I'm thirsty as hell and that I haven't learned my lesson. I've spoken to everyone that felt that I had harassed them, and I had apologized to them at every single turn. However, yourself, on the other hand, who's trying to virtual signal me, he pulled up tweets that this guy's been putting up, like with getting thirsty on a cam model. He's like, and that he bought, like, I kid you not, that he bought and ordered from the Wish app a set of thongs that she had for her Wish app and sent it to her. Like, oh hey, thongs I sent you.
Damn.
And he's like thirsty on this girl, and she never responded to him.
What the fuck?
This guy basically was, not only was he trying to virtual signal on Andy Signor after having done a fundraiser and like trying to show like, hey, I'm trying to turn a new leaf, I'm trying to move on from this shit, and I'm trying to offer help in a positive way. Not only does this guy have the nerve to try to shit on him for that, but he does the exact same shit.
Exact same thing that he was talking about.
That Andy was still in the middle of. I'm like, dude, you just got owned.
Oh
It was terrible.
Oh
we are
That
not
would suck
strangers.
because
was
there are
beautiful.
sometimes I want to take a jab on myself, but me being a plus size, everybody's like, well, why are you making fun of yourself? Like you consider yourself a traitor or something. Fat people won't like you for it. At least I can accept the fact, yes, I'm fat. I can't help it, but I can. I make fun of myself to boost my self-esteem up because my self-esteem is low. And why not? My sister told me the best way you can feel better about yourself is making fun of yourself.
Mhm.
And I started to do that. It's like, yeah, every time you call me, if you feel earthquakes, that's me just coming down to get my order.
Like, I don't know if you know, but
The
I'm a
important
little
thing
bit-
is that your happiness comes first, and you do whatever it takes to pursue the damn thing. If it makes making light of yourself, it will make you tougher against the harshness of the world, because nobody can hate you or love you as powerfully as you can hate or love yourself. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
cool. And like Juan said, him
Except
and I,
for this pizza, which I love more than myself.
we're pudgy ourselves.
Well, dude, you're not pudgy. You go out running. You exercise like crazy. You put up
I
stuff.
still have a little bit of pudge.
Okay.
Okay, here, well, I'll leave it go one-sided. Here it is. Look.
Censor this filth! This is a Blue Christian board, damn
It's
it!
nothing. It's like flat over here on this, and you're fine. I actually go from flat down to rounding out. Okay, so but like that.
That's
Like,
because one is made of memory gel.
You guys are not flabby. I'm flabby.
oh
No,
god,
see,
I made-
no, that's not fair. That's not fair. Because Juan is made of dad. So by
Okay,
default,
yes.
he can't complain about his body. And you down there are made of delicious chocolate thickness. So I don't want to hear you put yourself down. You're
There
a
you
beautiful
go.
thing. Even if you don't feel anybody else's taste, you got to feel your own. Also, I got rid of all the racist jokes because I'm the one who started making immigrant jokes the second I made friends in college. So they can't get me with that shit!
It's like,
And this
you
one over
guys
here
up
is
there
like
are-
legally blonde or
like, you
something. I
guys
don't know.
up there are beautiful. Sarah's beautiful. You guys are beautiful. You have a beautiful wife.
Like-
One, don't forget it.
yeah, no,
And
no.
you
my
are
wife
beautiful
pays
too,
for 'em,
Angel.
And I agree. Like, oh my god, it's like because Sarah was you were like. You got a gorgeous smile, and I'm like, I actually said that it's like bafflingly beautiful, and my wife was like,
Why couldn't you be Captain Marvel?
Would you like to be
What the
Captain
fuck?
Marvel?
What the
Yeah.
fuck's the name of the actual line? Brie Larson has like resting bitch face 24/7. That doesn't really work for her.
Like,
You
would
actually look the part.
like we'll go ahead and we'll send this off as a demo tape. We'll send it to Kevin Feige at Marvel, and at this point they'll be like, you know what? With Marvel and Disney dying down in terms of revenue, we have to cut our budget. Okay, we can't afford Brie Larson anymore. Let's go ahead and get Sarah in instead. We could
Now that the Avengers anime,
That's
now
when
that
you
the
actually
Avengers
go to
anime
the-
ended,
That's when you go to the negotiating table from there. like you might have to do a haircut or a wig or something, but I'm pretty sure you'll be okay with that, right?
If they question how you can do it, you just tell them, I can emote more than one emotion per scene. And that should be enough.
Oh
for
yeah.
them.
Now that I think about it, ever since I saw that, like, what was it? It's not the end game. Oh, Infinity Wars. Yeah, that lady looked like she only had one expression. It's like, is that what you gonna do? Are you? What are you? Byakuya from Bleach?
Fuck.
Ouch.
She has Karen face. I want to speak with your manager face.
Okay, the only difference between like Karen's and Captain Marvel is that like, oh, I'm sorry, the manager isn't available right now. That's all right. I'll fix it myself.
I want
that
to
being
say
said,
something.
though,
How'd you guys feel about the Super Bowl halftime complaints?
I'm sorry.
All the
what?
Karens.
Oh.
This year's was it this year's Super Bowl? Yeah, with J-Lo and Shakira dancing.
Oh my gosh, I love that Super Bowl performance. It was so good.
No. Here's the funny part. All the Karens were like, "How dare they shake their hips?" And like they're playing the 50s. That's disgusting. And I'm like, how many people you see in their playing the 50s shake their hips?
I was
Jealousy
like,
is such a terrible thing.
Or I saw the whole thing's like, or grab a pole by their thighs and just twirl around like some kind of dancers. How many people do you see like that in their 40s and 50s? I didn't even know they were 40s and 50s. They look great.
These bitches were jealous as fuck.
Like, anyone who's got outrage on this, may I please refer you back? What was it, 2003?
2003.
Please refer you back to Jackson, who was in her mid-40s at that time, dancing with Justin Timberlake, and you have the bit with her jacket coming off and expose her boob from there.
Oh, I saw that. That was hilarious. Okay. Everybody's like, what happened?
Like, oh, I'm sorry, that's not that big a deal anymore. Oh,
hey,
yeah,
boy,
sure.
Hey,
that was a firestorm back then.
I'm sorry?
You're looking up the Janet Jackson boob thing.
No, I'm looking something else up. There was something that predicted this. Many years ago, this lovely young lady, I can't remember her name, she was declared to be like Miss Beauty or something like that, Miss like Universe. She's a sports lady, and she looks quite pretty. She has that sort of Amazonian grace to her because she's a sports lady. And the entire thread on Facebook was nothing but complaints about she wasn't that pretty, she wasn't that good looking, she had all these flaws, her lips were out of place. Like, no, complaint over complaint that I couldn't see. Maybe because I'm a man and I was blinded by the size of my penis or something. I don't know.
Dude.
And then I looked it up and I'm like, this is funny. How come every single people complaining is A, a woman, and B, way uglier than her? It really activates my almonds.
I wonder.
I am rubbing my two cells together and I'm like, so yeah, this, personally, I don't care for the Super Bowl, but I saw the halftime show and I'm like, this is pretty good dancing, and I'm actually impressed she looks that hot at that age. And then I hear all the complaining and I just go, when did being sexy become a crime?
I know.
Thank you.
Are we back to the Puritan era?
I almost wanted to say like that's like I'm gonna put anime characters into this. That's like putting Super Saiyan Goku shirtless dancing on a pole, and every other man like, oh hell no.
Hell no. You know what? No,
I don't understand. Why are we suddenly so opposed to the idea of feminine beauty? Like it has become a curse, like a symbol of weakness. Like what's wrong with that? Okay. Use it as your strength. Why can't you not be beautiful and strong?
And actually, to bring the metaphor back to guys over here for a second, like tell me, okay, all three of us guys here, we are red-blooded hetero dudes who like ladies and boobies and stuff. We like how many of us would clap and cheer anytime we'd see Terry Crews perform? And he's done like lip sync battles, and he's done he sang 1,000 Miles from Vanessa Carlton, and he is jacked. He was an expendable. He was the Old Spice guy. He was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like he is jacked, and he is a burly, sexy man. But if he were to dance and bust a move, and he took his shirt off on that, I guarantee you, every single one of us would be like, "Yeah, fuck yes,
yeah, go Terry."
Yes.
See, absolutely. That's because we live in a land of double standards. When a man pursues a center standard of strength and beauty, it is merely dismissed as a male power fantasy. But when a woman pursues any standard of beauty, she is assaulted by the very people that once defended her because they are jealous.
I call them the Karens.
Exactly.
The ones like,
They
where's
hate-
my
they
manager?
have-
Where's the manager? I really
They have
want, it's like,
mistaken the idea of
like-
beauty with weakness. And that is a terrible mistake because beauty can be a terrifying strength in of its own. If you don't believe me, go look up history and see all the horrible things a beautiful woman can do when she carries a grudge.
Look at
Who in cases?
Queen, what was it? Queen Elizabeth?
Mhm.
Was it? They dubbed her the Virgin Queen. She ruled the kingdom with an iron fist. What do you call it? Lucy Lawless, Xena, the warrior princess. She was clearly,
the one I
clearly
almost
very
went
feminine,
lesbian
very
for
sexy
when I was a kid.
and owned her sexuality.
I would have gone lesbian
like,
too.
She was tough as nails, and she could eat you alive.
Can I bring up references
That's a
to,
problem.
wrestling?
Sure.
Double standard.
Yeah.
The double
there's-
standard that we caught up in.
Well, no, there is a wrestler. There are female wrestlers right now that they go in the same category. They own their sexiness, and yet at the same time, they can prove that they can still kick ass.
They can kill you.
They can kill you.
Like who?
One
who's your first example?
specifically, one wrestler from WWE. She performs in the NXT brand. The current NXT Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley.
Go ahead and look her up.
She looks freaking awesome. Like she looks like she belongs like to a heavy metal band. Like she wears like all leather. She has like metal clippings like all over, and she looks freaking cool. It's like she came out of the freaking 80s or something.
Like
I
heavy
love
metal
Lady.
rock star.
I love Lady
And-
in Leather.
And like
Yes.
so
Yes.
like
And
You
she
can
is
have that.
muscular as all hell.
so you can have that sense of beauty and power at the same time, and they don't clash and they don't like detract from each other. You can have that.
I want her to step on me. Anyways.
Yes.
Like,
No,
I
that's
I
good.
don't know why,
We got
but I
5 minutes to go. Actually, 4 minutes. We're about to wrap up. We're killing the broadcast at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Right.
what I wanted to do with that drawing I showed you guys earlier. I really wanted to make it out of a shirt.
Do it.
Oh,
Wait. Oh, okay.
Do it.
Well,
Why stop now?
in
Go
that
ahead.
case, send us an email and we'll work with you on that.
indeed. But yeah, no, we
But-
all have our But no, I want to say this right now. First
There's
of all, I
another
know
one that I wanted to make a shirt.
Shakira.
Who
She danced way better than JLo. I'm just saying.
who has heard of Launch from Dragon Ball?
I know.
Who hasn't heard from the best girl from Dragon Ball?
All right, Nora, we're gonna go ahead and get with you on the whole thing with the email. We're gonna start wrapping up over here. And Nora, before we go, since you've been on here the longest, anything else you'd like to add with us tonight?
It was nice doing live stuff. I'm starting to become less camera shy. Before I
Good.
was.
Good.
Awesome.
That's good.
We'll be happy to assist you do so in the future as well.
All right,
I'm sorry,
and
sir, for interrupting.
So
I feel guilty.
don't stop it. Stop it.
All right.
You're doing that thing.
All right,
Stop it.
and, all right, and Sarah, is there anything else that you wanted to plug or anything else you wanted to bring up?
Really, I'm enjoying these lives. I'm having fun. So thanks for having me
Yeah.
on.
That's
Yeah,
good,
of
that's
course.
good.
You know, and we do appreciate you showing us some love because I saw, one of the first things that we saw is that you ordered a T-shirt from us and on our store, and you look good in the shirt.
If
Thank
you
you.
still have that shirt, can you show it right now?
Work.
Fortunately, I do.
They're available in every size that we can put it up for. So
Yeah.
if you want to check it out there, that's where we'll have it. All right, and
All right, and I think
Angel, anything you want to say before we start wrapping up?
Last words. Okay. Once upon a time, women fought for the right to express themselves, to show their bodies however they wanted to, and to nobody tell them what to do. Now we have reached a point where we're doing the opposite, and they are being censored by the very people who once defended them. Fuck those guys. You can be beautiful and strong, and let no one tell you otherwise. If you have the power to have your cake and eat it too, have the damn cake. You deserve delicious cake. Do not be fooled by the standards of body positivity or negativity. Be what and who you want to be. Because at the end of the day, when you die, you're going down alone. You might as well look good on the way there.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Oh,
the whole
that's
song.
your shirt. Is giving me an idea.
Which shirt?
Yes.
The Raven's flock. Is that the logo?
This is the bird is the logo. This is exclusively made just for me. I personally have requested it because it has my last name, Casabona, on it. But I still have the bird here because I want to represent the brand.
Cool.
Yes. And yeah, you're not going to see this on the merchandise side because, like I said, this was exclusively made. Like I personally put in the order for myself. But we do have other merchandise that's available. So,
Okay,
I think that's. Oh, what's up?
Okay, for you two, I have a surprise for you guys when the drawing gets done.
Awesome.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
you guys just give me another inspirational idea, and I hope you guys allow it. I don't know how much you guys charge, but I hope it's okay with you guys when it's done.
All right.
Check
All
it
right.
out, guys. We're creating inspiration.
Oh my God, people are being inspired with us. Help! What did you do?
That's a terrible idea. Please stop.
I don't know
All right.
why, but when I saw that Raven's Flock, I couldn't stop staring. It's like, should I? I hate my muse. I hate my muse.
All right.
It's
All
always
right,
like,
Let's go ahead and put a plug on it. Let's put a
Absolutely.
cork in it. We're done.
Yep, it is 9 p.m. That about wraps it up. This has been another exciting episode of the Ravens Flock. Should we go ahead and do? We always do plugs.
We always do the plugs. Okay. Do you want me to do my spiel? Like, if you watch this or hear my thing, I always do our spiel. Thank you very much for listening in and watching this episode of the Ravens Flock. Until next week, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/The Ravens Flock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/The Ravens Flock Online, home of the live weekly edition of the Wednesday Night War. And of course, subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a thumbs up, leave comments, and share our content to all of your friends from our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Ravens Flock, home of the Black Files, the Los Amigos Play, and Ravens Flock.
All right, this has been another exciting episode of the Ravens Flock. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we are